Welcome back to Sleepy Pasta.
You mean creepypasta?
Okay, where it's been like a year since
9
we
months.
posted anything because we're just freaking cool like
Not
that.
really.
I mean, what are you gonna do when you got like a kids and a mortgage?
It's not a mortgage, you don't know that you're renting.
Enjoy this 16-story
Is
compilation.
it actually 16?
There's about, I think it's maybe 15, with my buddy because I was bored.
That's correct. Haunted dog. So one day, I was petting my dog, and he started growling. And I said, "Stop growling." So he bit my hand off. And I ran away, and then he turned into a giant werewolf dog. But I grabbed a Bible and threw it at him, and he died. The end. The spooky noodles. Once there was a child who knew so little about creepypastas, he wrote a horror story that had rainbows and unicorns. It's so bad that everyone died of cringe. The end. Chef Boyardee. One day, I went to the Krusty Krab, and I saw some Chef Boyardee, and I order it, and then I saw my mom come out of the can. It was horrifying. Help me, please. It was terrifying.
Not even worth posting.
No, that one we can't. Cake monster. I was eating some cake when suddenly the cake was actually a cake monster, and then I died. The end.
Scary lighter. One day, I came home from work and me turn on all the light bulbs, but one light bulb no turn. I very got scary. Then I was like, F it, man. It's just one light. I go pallet my PC, but something spooky came out dark. I say, man, go away. I play Roblox. You ruined my win streak. He feeling hurt and he go away.
The end. Zombie, rah, rah. This one time some dudes were in dark alley. One is turned into zombie. Rah, rah, I am zombie, he said. No, don't hurt me, one said. He said, rah, rah, and he bited the other one. Rah, no, I am zombie, said he. I eat your brains. Luckily, one of them had gun. He is kill zombies and a big hero. Hooray!
The end. The rain that hammered like bloody bats. David had always hated dark Elizabethtown morgue with its decaying, dry, dead bodies. It was a place where he felt scared and afraid. He was a tall, lanky alcohol with a shrewd neck. His friends saw him as a wooden and wry with a strong bod. Once he had rescued a demons from the burning building. That's the sort of man he was. Real, not joking. David walked over to the mirror and reflected on it, then walked over to the window and looked around on his creepy surroundings 2 and 2. The rain hammered outside like running bats on the morgue's tin roof. It was bloody. Then he saw something in the distance, or rather, it was someone. It was the figure of Mary in a Jeep. Mary was driving up to the morgue in a Jeep. In the bloody rain, a stunning woman with gorgeous legs and long, pale neck. David gulped. He was not prepared for Maria. As David stepped outside and runned and Maria came closer, he could see the runny smile on her face. Shelley gazed with the affection of intense. She said in hushed tones,
I love you, and I want love.
She said to me. David looked back with an even more hate, and because he was still fingering the enormous tire iron,
Maria, I always wanted to kill Dracula with you.
He replied. They looked at each other with the sadistic feelings, like two repulsive rats stabbing at a very egregious murder. Okay. Suddenly, Mary lunged forward and tried to kiss David on the neck.
Ah!
David yelled quickly. David grabbed the enormous spare tire and brought it down on Marira's skull. Mary's shaped legs trembled and her pale neck wobbled. She looked evil, her emotions raw like a heavy, hungry armadillo. Then she let out an agonizing groan that wasn't Mary, but actually Dracula, and collapsed onto the ground. Moments later, Dracula was dead. David went back inside and made himself a nice grilled cheese sandwich. The end.
Billy Pizza Slice. Billy was a youngster. He loved to eat pizza. But one day, he ate too much pizza, and eventually became a slice of pizza himself. Billy now lives at his local Pizza Hut.
The end. Club Penguin Ghost. It has not been a long time since Club Penguin got shutted down. But it's still every day I go on the Club Penguin to see if it come back. Yesterday, when I went to check, something spook-eye had happened. There was an Penguin ghost. He said, "Am spooky ghost of Club Penguin. You are die soon." I was be scared. And then it got spookier. Penguins started coming out of my screen and attacking me. Never again am gonna check Club Penguin. The end.
Surprise, suspop. I was sitting in my room, posting on Reddit, when I heard a crash from downstairs. I ran to the sound and saw a magical living toilet standing in the middle of the room. Its lid flapped up and down as a ghastly Mickey Mouse laugh echoed through the room. The toilet shat in the middle of the rug and hopped through the wall. It magically did no damage to the wall, but left in a crash of sound, just like its entrance. I was left with a giant magical turd to deal with. FML.
The end.
Oh yeah.
What do here? Two peoples was walking in woods one night so they could get drunk. They was already high. They heard a voice near the house says, "What do here?" And they were scared.
They running and get lost. Run back to the house, and there was witch. She eat them.
The end.
The spooky spookster. One night, girl came Lee was 'cause work at store. It's spooky store. Store do open and bell ring but nobody there. Lee was like, "Oh, that's weird." And keep doing work. She passed by store and aisle and see spooky person with knife. She blink and person disappear. She real scared. Go to back over store to get minigun. She said behive counter with minigun. Then she sees spooky person. She shoot gun. Boom, 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 bang, bang, boom, bang, pow, boom, bang. Whole store destroyed from bullets, but no dead spookster. Then spookster show up behind Lee, and she got real spooked. The end.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
That was amazing. The collage people. One weekend, a group of collage friends went to cabin in the woods, and there were 4 of them. They drank bad drink even though they too young. They all drunk except responsible one. Drunk one accidental open evil book. Da da da. The evil book turned him into a zombie. Zombie 1 run into room where everybody was. He bited the 2 drunk college people. Then they was zombies too. The responsible one was like, I'm not gonna die. And he killed the zombies with chainsaws. Lots of loud. But then he turned into zombie.
Ow, the sun! The end.
Night terrors. The kid trembled under the blankets.
There's nothing there.
He said to himself. He was horribly scared of the dark and used to sleep with the lights on. Unfortunately for him, he had woken up in the middle of his nightmares and the lights were already off. Every night, the kid would dream about this horrible little dwarf that hid in the depths of the earth, creeping through dark tunnels under his house. Each night, he would see their vicious little grins, full of needle-like teeth. He would hear their screeching laughs, and he would imagine them rubbing their tiny paw-like hands.
Duendes aren't real.
He said, as thought he could convince himself. He sighed with relief as he heard the steps of his father, walking up the stairs and stopping outside of his door. The thought of his dad entering his room and finally turning the lights on comforted him and made him forget about his fears. He removed the blanket from his head. A chill ran through the boy's spine like an electric shock as he stared into the darkness beyond the threshold of his door. He suddenly remembered that his parents were away for the weekend.
You kids shouldn't be awake.
The end!
Spooky ghost house. Once upon a time, there was a spooky ghost house. This house was so spooky that it scared a man to death. I didn't believe these tales, so I went to the house to see for myself, and I was spooked to death too. Now we are both spooked to death, and so we spooked each other to death even more so. A man came into the room and was all,
"Ah, ghosts is spooky!"
and so we spooked him to death. But he didn't become a ghost. Instead, he became a demon, and he killed us both so that our souls would leave the place so that he could do all the spooking. The end.